seems so simple. We go to our faucet, run off a little clean water to get it colder, and then we take a long drink. We can do this 24/7. But have you ever thought about just where this water comes from? We have had clean drinking water so long, many of us just take it for granted. Some get it from wells. I do. Only last week I needed to have my well and pump repaired. It merely inconvenienced me for a few days, and I was out a couple bucks. Others get their water from clean lakes. Very little treatment is needed to make this water safe to drink. Some get water from rivers. There is so much water in our rivers that we can impound it behind dams to produce power. Often, there is such an excess that tons flow over the spillways. We can get water from small streams. We have so many sources of nearly clean water that needs little or no treatment at all to make it drinkable. We are truly blessed. Our country even has the wealth to treat our residential, industrial wastewater before we return it to the rivers. In over half of the world, this is not so. On October 18th, I went to the Alphon Youth Center in Waterville to listen to a presentation about a very low-tech but effective method of providing clean water to the poor of Nicaragua. It's called the Clean Drinking Water Project. Mary Benziger of Partners in Health in Maine, one of the project sponsors, will introduce Regina Coppens, who will describe the system.
Partners in Health of Maine is a small, very small grassroots organization dedicated to improving the health of the people in the North Atlantic region of Nicaragua. We do this by sharing skills, education, equipment, and we believe that it is better to teach than to do. Our goal is to help establish sustainable health care in this region. Dr. Bob Bach, our founder, started going to this area back in the 1970s. War devastated the country in the 1980s, leaving hospitals and infrastructure destroyed. The hospital in Puerto Cabezas, which is the biggest city in the North Atlantic region, was destroyed beyond repair. And Partners in Health in Maine helped to build the new hospital, and most of the supplies and equipment in the hospital at Puerto Cabezas came from hospitals in Maine. So we had a very great response with donations from Maine. We are a very small nonprofit with no paid staff. All our volunteers pay their own way for their trips. The money that we receive through our annual newsletter solicitation is used for shipping donated materials. We each have specific projects that we work on, such as Dr. Bach's surgical assistance, my husband John's pathology project, and Gina Coppens' Filtrone clean water drinking project. And now Gina is going to tell you all about her clean drinking water project, which is very exciting.
This is an open well, and as you can see, this woman has to draw water using a bucket. The latrines are not far from these wells. The water table is really high. And then some other people collect water from the roof. This here is a barrel on the corner of the porch, and they collect rainwater that way. And this girl is also collecting water in that bucket. And I don't know where she got it from, but you can bet it's contaminated. None of this water is treated, leaving the people susceptible to waterborne diseases and parasites. Many people boil water or buy bottled water, treat it with chlorine, or drink it untreated. In Nicaragua, visits to the doctor are free, but people have to pay for medication. Waterborne illnesses also reduce household income by preventing family members from attending work when they are sick and reducing school attendance by children. So one way or another, people are paying for water, whether it's buying bottled water, paying for gas to boil water, or buying medications when they're sick. These are some of the flip charts that we use to teach people about what's in contaminated water. You can see they're all in Spanish. Talk about Giardia, and it gets a little graphic with how they feel when they get some of these amoebas and parasites. bloated stomach, dizziness, vomiting. But it has a big impact on people. You know, convincing them that their water is contaminated is a big part of our job. Diarrheal disease is very common in the developing world. According to the World Health Organization, 1.7 million people worldwide, mainly children under the age of 5, die each year from diarrhea due to unsafe drinking water. In addition, repeated diarrheal episodes can impair the nutritional status of affected children, who become increasingly susceptible to acute infections such as pneumonia. As part of its Millennium Development Goals, the United Nations expressed its commitment to reduce by 1/2 the people without sustainable access to clean drinking water by the year 2015. Current estimates that there are still 1.1 billion people without access to clean drinking water. Providing potable water in the developing world is a challenge, but this simple filter can bring clean water to even the most remote areas of the world. Originally designed by Dr. Fernando Mazariegos, a Guatemalan chemist, the ceramic water filter combines the filtration of a ceramic pot with bacteria-killing colloidal silver. I'm just going to show you what the pot is. So it's this plastic bucket. This holds about 30 liters. And then inside is this ceramic filter that holds about 7 liters. And it's very simple. The water is poured into this filter, and it filters through at about a rate of 1.5 to 2 liters per hour. And in the bottom, you have clean filtered water. The ceramic water filter is made of clay mixed with sawdust or ground rice husks that burn off during firing, leaving pores so tiny that they block the passage of waterborne bacteria while letting the water seep through. So here are bags of dry clay, and then here's a guy, he's sifting sawdust, and those two things will be combined. Okay, the next slide. In this mixer with some water. Next slide. This is the factory in Managua. And then they weigh it, and they start to form a block. Here's a guy forming a block, a cube of, that'll be turned into a filter. This is a hydraulic press. And she puts the finishing touches on, and then they're taken to the kiln. It's really a great factory. It's very clean, well run. They use slab wood, leftover slab wood, to fire the kilns. These are just some of the kilns there. That's what they look like when they've all been fired. Very pretty, stacked up. And then this is a filter, a water filtration tank. Each filter is tested to make sure that they do indeed filter between 1.5 and 2 liters per hour. If it filters too quickly, they don't filter out the bacteria. The good filters are then painted with colloidal silver, which kills the bacteria and prevents bacteria from growing on the filter. And in addition to removing bacteria, the filter also removes sediment from the water. Partners in Health became involved with distributing the filters 2 years ago when a college student from Hampshire College, Rachel Singer, went to port to conduct a pilot project using ceramic filters. With the help of a local retired nurse, Rachel identified 12 families who could benefit by having a ceramic water filter in their homes. This is the kitchen at the guest house for Partners in Health. We use the filters there, and no one gets sick when they're there as long as they drink that water. Well, those are the elements of the project right now. And our goal is to keep the filter project going as an ongoing project and to make an integral part of both the marketplace and of the public health system of the community. Thank you.